Speaking of adding value, Tony has agreed to, we always hear Tony talk about reverse prospecting. When we take a listing, we tell our sellers that we are going to prospect for them to find a buyer for their house. And Tony always says, if you're not doing reverse prospecting, you're not doing your job. Mm. The thing is, most of us don't really understand what that means. And even if we understand what it means, we don't know how to actually do it. So right now, what I'm going to ask all of you to do is mute your phones. I'm going to have Tony walk us through it. And then I'll take a snippet of that video with him showing you how to do reverse prospecting. And I'll post that on the WhatsApp chat so you can always go back to it for reference. So Tony, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. And you tell me what to do, and I will walk everyone through reverse prospecting. All right, so Tony, I'm here on the main screen, and tell me exactly, walk me through it so everyone completely understands what we need to do.
Okay, so it's pretty simple, right? On the top line, you see where it says prospects. Mm-hmm. Yep, click on that, and it just says reverse prospect. It's this simple.
Okay.
So now you can say my listings, but if Dave, you don't have any listings, right?
Correct.
So if you clicked on that my listings, it would give you a drop down of all the houses that you have listed. Okay. Right? All the ones that you had listed. Okay. But so now you don't have any, so you do residential and then hit continue.
Okay.
And then you put it the criteria of your listing, right? So you want to say Bergen County, you can say, Wyckoff.
Okay.
So and whatever your price is, 0 to say it's a $749,000 house or whatever. So, or whatever, right? And then, you put in your bedrooms of 3 or 4, whatever it is, and how many bathrooms it is. And then you just hit search.
Now down here it says prospect date range. Do I change that?
You can.
Okay.
I just leave it as 1 day because that's like the most recent current people.
Okay.
And you hit search. If it doesn't come up with anything, then you could go back further. But, there you go. 16 people you got to call today, Dave.
Okay. So I call, let's say for an example, I call Joan, who's with Keller Williams. What is my conversation with Joan about that search I did?
So this is pretty much what I do. I say, hi, Joan, this is Tony from your office. Or if it's not from our office, I say, hey, Joan, this is Tony from Keller Williams Village Square Realty. I recently put on a new listing, and I did a reverse prospect, and your name came up as somebody who's got a profile that matches it. I don't know what the whole thing is, but the first name starts with M-A-T, and it ends with D-J-A, right? And you'll see right there under the profile. And she'll say, oh, Matt, whatever, Duja, whatever his name is. Oh, yeah, where is it? Send me the listing, right? So then what I'll do is I'll either text her the listing or, the listing number, or I'll, tell her over the phone the address and that kind of thing. And basically what happens is she'll make an appointment to go show her customer my listing.
I think that's awesome. And how often are you doing reverse prospecting for your listings?
I usually do it the first day that I put the listing on. And I'll do it almost weekly if we don't have any offers.
Okay.
Right. I mean, listen, your objective is to get the house sold as quickly as possible. You say in your listing presentation, I don't just do the 3 Ps, I do the 4th and 5th P, which is price watch and prospect.
Prospect.
And if you're not doing this, then you're a liar.
So, Tony, I appreciate you going over this. And as you're talking, I'm thinking about, Push 2.0 starts today, and it's all about listing mastery. I believe we need to take a screenshot of this, and this needs to be part of either our pre-listing packet when we talk about what we do to market a property, or at least in the presentation, we need to have an example and show how we do this for our listings. I mean, this is huge, and I guarantee you, most people aren't talking about this because they don't know about it. And if you talk about this, talk about standing out from the competition, if you can bring this up and show an example of how you go and you find the buyers for their property. This is why they want to hire you. This is why you're worth 6%, right?
Yeah, well, I do talk about this, Dave, in my listing presentation. Whenever I talk to people, I basically say to them, if you're interviewing other agents and you ask them if they reverse prospect and they say, what is that? Ask them to leave right then and there.
Tony, how
Yes, sir.
far do you go on days? Like, wouldn't it be worth going back a week so you have more names or more people or?
Well, the thing is, you want to get the most current. So I just, that's 16 people I got to call today, right? If they aren't interested, then I'll go back a couple of days or a week or a month or 6 months. I find that if you go back too far, you're talking to people who've they say, oh, that customer already bought something,
Tony, that was awesome. Do you guys have any questions for Tony about reverse prospecting?
So
I do.
what is it again? What the contacts that are produced? These are agents only, or?
So Roddy, what happens is this: when you have a buyer, right, and you set up a search, have you done that in
Not yet, no.
Okay, so what most people do is they set up a search. They set up a search in New Jersey MLS that basically says, my customer's name is, Bill Delaney, and he's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, blah, 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 blah. Here's all the stuff. And then what happens is every day when something new gets added, it's automatically emailed to Bill.
Okay.
Reverse prospecting basically says, who's got profile set up for a house that would match mine?
Got it. Perfect.
So it basically, now you can call their agent and say, I'm not sure if you sent this to your customer or if it's set up to be automatic or whatever, but this is a house that fits their needs and they should go look at it.
Awesome.
That's brilliant. Got it.
All right, Kim, you had a question?
That was the same question. So if I
Okay,
said
awesome. That works out well. Tony, I knew we kept you around for a reason, man. Great information. Appreciate
Tony,
I
it.
have a question, guys. My name's Lance. Hi, everybody.
So
Was that
basically, if a
hey,
search is
respect to
set
that.
up, it'll pull all the time, Tony?
No,
Just
you
don't
have
try
to,
search.
yeah. So when you do a search, when you set up a search, you can set it up to go twice daily, instantly, once a month, once a week, and then it'll send it to your clients that long. Reverse prospecting, you have to do it manually.
Okay, thank you so much.
So
Great
Tony,
information.
yeah, so so I usually do this where I'll go through, set up my client's name in the drip because Larry was showing us how to do that. So as soon as I do that and I click on, like, they're going to get, in my email, I get my name back actually showing me with their name all the houses that I've been sending them on a daily basis. And I go through that all the day. So you're telling me that in a reverse prospect will show my name that I've been dripping on them, like a drip campaign
No.
for those
Yeah.
particular properties?
Well, what it does, Sylvia, is it matches my criteria with your criteria. If our criteria matches, if my house matches the criteria you have in your selection for that customer, it'll give me your name and say, Sylvia has somebody looking for this type of house, and this is their profile name. It gives you the first and 3 digits.
Okay. All right.
Tony?
Yes,
So you're only calling agents, is that right?
correct.
Yeah,
Got
whenever it was,
Calling
Ash, I just added a client who's looking for a 3+ bedrooms, 2-bath, whatever it is, in Hasbrook Heights. I literally just added them. The next day, Ash called me and said, hey, I have a listing in Hasbrook Heights, and you have a client who matches the criteria. Then I called the client and I said, hey, there's a new listing. What do you think of this? So it's a way for you to go back to your client and say, hey, look at this. Do you want to go see this?
That's
That's
awesome.
really
really
was able to
amazing.
get straight to me and say, you have a client that matches what I have.
Great example, Haza. Hey, is anyone here a New York licensed agent? And do you guys know how to do reverse prospecting in New York? Is that possible in New York?
I don't know, but I'll check it out. I think this is
If you can check
amazing.
it out and maybe
Yeah,
report back to us this week, that'd be great.
sure.
I did it last week and for my one listing, and I got 2 people to show it this past weekend. And then one of the agents is like, "Wait, what are you doing?" I go, from like a smaller mom and pop agency, and I said, "I'm doing reverse prospecting." And you're like, "What is that?" And he goes, "How do you like Keller Williams?" And I'm like, "Well,
That's
since
awesome.
you're asking, that's not my intention, of course, but he asked."
That should be.
It should be.
your intention.
Absolutely. Like, oh, you're
Raj,
not being trained on this. It definitely should be your intention. Hey, I
Raj,
want
they
to say
have a
something really
career
quick.
day I'm sorry
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt. They have a
Go
career
ahead.
day each week where you can invite them to tune in at noon. So
Yeah.
if they're
So,
interested.
sorry.
Like
Gotcha.
reverse prospecting can help us all profit share.
Yep.
Mhm. Hey, I just want to say one thing. Lance,
Hey, Tony.
you wanted to say something?
I did, thanks. You guys kind of answered it, but my question is, wouldn't the agent already be looking for that bedroom, bathroom, and everything? Shouldn't they have seen that listing already?
They
You
should
would
be.
think so.
Should have is the
They
answer.
should be. But the problem is there's a lot of lazy agents who expect the computer to do their job.
Got it.
So you
Hey,
just
Tony,
and
one of the things that I do when I reverse prospect, it's funny because I send the listing to the agents, and invariably I'll get a call from an agent going, "How did you know that I have, or how do you know that I have this buyer for this thing?" Or they get spooked out, which is pretty cool. But I've also gotten a lot of showings based on doing that because I send out the listing. I do it like the first day and send it out to agents that have had buyers, let's say, over the past 2 months. And I've gotten a lot of showings on it. Matter of fact, I got one of my offers actually was on it, was done for reverse prospecting.
That's awesome.
And it's a pretty cool thing to do.
yeah, I tried that, Seth. I tried to do like I created an email and I targeted on just those people who had customers. But I find that, I mean, you guys are probably in the same boat. I get 15 things in the mail every day in my email saying, "Oh, new house in Bloomfield, new house in Pagoda, new house," and I'm just deleting them right away because I don't have any buyers. So I'm just deleting them. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, these guys are probably going to do the same thing to my email because you get so many every day. But a phone call, you make that contact and then you say, I'll text you over the MLS number, and next thing you know, you're scheduling appointments into that house. And I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We're looking to sell these houses as quickly and as painlessly as possible for the most money in their pocket. I mean, we say that over and over, but if you're not doing your job,
Right.
you're not doing your job.
Okay, so 2 things, and Tony, thank you for bringing that up. Number one, Raj, you said that you reverse prospect 2 people. We should be communicating with our sellers every week and letting them know what we're doing to get their property sold. My question is, when we're doing these things like reverse prospecting, are we telling our sellers what we're doing each week in order to market their home and get it sold? And if we're not, I would encourage you to include that in your list. Reverse prospect, make those calls and tell them about the outcome. You want to show them every week what you're doing to get their property sold, not just sitting there having open houses every Sunday. Show them all the other things that you're doing. So Raj, thank you for bringing that example up. And then
You stole the words right from my mouth, because I was just going to tell Raj to print all this out and sit. You need to have a tough conversation, and you need to bring that with you.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'm super grateful for her guidance, Hazel's guidance, because that was one thing, because I was going to walk away from this, but I have, I guess you say, I have the tools to fight for this, because he doesn't know what that means. Me making 25 reverse prospecting calls. Of those calls, 7 voicemails, 8 said not right now, and then 2 got in there, but that's 2 showings. But he doesn't know that was time out of my day. That was part of the efforts that I've done, along with the just listed cards and the zip flyers and the Facebook ads and and the posts and all that stuff.
Well, it's not his job to know. It's your job to show him what you're doing. So
Yeah.
before you give up and you throw in your towel, like fight for it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't see value of what you're doing, then, you know, you go from there, but fight for it.